pinnacle of human perfection.
Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy 4th of July. We got Eileen with us. Let me get to you, Eileen. What's up, Eileen?
Hey, happy 4th of July, Shane and everybody.
Yes, you guys, happy 4th of July or happy Independence Day. And I like what Magenta Pixie was saying about it's like for the first time, it's more of a global Independence Day, not just an American thing. And I like that. I like that because I started thinking about in terms of us doing a meditation tonight, and I thought, what better time to tap into this whole feeling of independence, but not only in the typical way we think of, but, independence from a lot of the, maybe the atrocities our ancestors did, right? Independence from...
it's in our DNA.
Exactly. They say water has memory and our DNA has memory. And we see all this stuff coming out now. And I think it's sort of like maybe showing that we've got some stuff down there still that, maybe we need to cut ties with. Understand that, that was a time and it served its purpose. But let go of that, and let's move forward into something new.
It's
see
kind
that
of
as
like
a stepping stone.
Healing our past, healing our DNA, healing our ancestors, and moving forward into a new freedom, a new compassionate, cooperative humanity, just here, getting along, working together. I wonder why she said it was like Independence Day for the whole world. Is it because of the CV and the masks and everything?
Right. I think just the fact that we're in this grand awakening, and she was saying how, we're beginning to heal up certain things. Like she was talking about the London bombings coming up on 7/7. And so there's like a collective healing that's going to take place then. It's like as we hit these dates that have been thought of in other ways in the past, we're like kind of transmuting that and transforming it into something else. So yeah, it's like a sort of being liberated from the system. We're moving out of this old system, right?
We're moving out of a broken system.
Right. So it's independence from this broken system, right? No one consents to what's going on. And then
it's all over the world.
Yeah. And when we think of our ancestors, all of us have ancestors that's done things that none of us are proud of. In fact, a lot of us would be shocked to find out what they've done. So, it's not like we're in alignment with any of what's happened 100 years ago, right?
Or 1,000 years ago.
Right. And so that's sort of lingering around. And I think an independence from that, an independence from the system in any kind of way. So I just, I thought tapping in, when I saw it fell on the 4th of July, I thought, well, we can get in there and get out because we got stuff going on tonight anyway. But,
yeah, we both have like fireworks to do, a firework party with our family. So we're going to have to skedaddle after 1 hour today.
Right. But
that's a long time.
Yeah.
And, the United States is talking about, I got it from greenmedicineinfo.com, something like that, instituting a nationwide mask wearing law. And the more they do that, the more freedom we get, the more people wake up, the more people go, what? Why? Everybody I know is well, right? I'm not sick. And they're supposed to put them on kids. Kids are supposed to go to school in masks and run around and do PE and never go near each other. So that whole thing is just waking up so many more people that we could never wake up with the Mandela effect, 9/11, all the different things that have happened that we've said, wow, what's up in the sky? People don't see that, but when they're forced to cover their face and cover their children's face, and they want to see a good reason why, like that would save life. Because if you look at all the medical studies, none of the studies support wearing masks in healthy people. Doctors wear them, surgeons.
Let me bring this up because this was brand new and I don't know how many people are aware of it. but I believe it was the WHO. Somebody flipped the script on saying that if you're asymptomatic, you can pass it. Now they're saying that if you're asymptomatic, you can't pass it. So have you heard about this?
I have heard of it, and then I heard, oh my God, that shouldn't have gotten out. Nobody believes it's true. Is it like really strongly? Because I did see that if you're asymptomatic, you don't pass it along. So then only sick people should be wearing masks.
Exactly. That defeats the whole purpose of, if you're not feeling sick at all, why are you wearing a mask around? You're actually increasing your chances at that point of getting sick or
That's true.
having other, low oxygen related things. Oh my gosh. It was like
Asthma,
the first
people
week.
with asthma, COPD.
Yeah, there was an old lady like in the road with her mask pulled down because she couldn't breathe at that point. She collapsed, you know what I mean? She was crowded by people or whatever, but here she is trying to be safe and wear a mask, and she ends up collapsing and having a crowd of people around her helping her. That's actually increasing her chances of one of them having it, right?
Of her,
I mean,
someone
if you're
having
really
it and breathing on her.
right, when she could have just went without her mask, kept her distance, and been all right instead of walking. She was walking on the street like no one around, and I see this a lot. I see people driving, workers, and I think maybe because they have passengers in the car. So like if it's a shuttle service.
I see people driving with masks too, and I think don't crash into anything, don't pass out.
Right. But I think it's a policy. It must be a policy because I see a lot of like a hotel shuttle vans, where the driver's wearing it. And
Did I freeze? Because you froze on me.
No, you're good. Actually, you just froze now. Oh, now you're back again. But no, we're still broadcasting.
Oh,
so yeah, I see these. They're wearing the mask because I guess they don't want people to feel like he wasn't wearing the mask the moment before I got in there, and it's filled with coronavirus or whatever. So yeah, it's very strange.
Well, the reason I bring that up is that's part of our freedom. We are going to request, manifest, build together the freedom to smile at people, the freedom to give someone a hug, the freedom to play with somebody. If it's your child and they're at school and they want to go play with somebody and they're not told, nope, 6 feet apart, please don't play with that child. So that's all part of our freedom that we're moving into. And the more crazy it gets at the top, the more people below them wake up. The more people go, hang on a minute. I'm not sick. My kids are not sick. My family's not sick. Why am I putting masks on everybody who's well? Why am I doing this to everybody who's well if masks don't even prevent transmission of viruses? They don't. There's no studies that show they do.
So what do you do,
Freedom. Freedom rings. And in this day and age, it's the freedom from wearing facial coverings. That is a real freedom now.
Yeah, we should definitely have that in the meditation. Independence from personal protective equipment, right? PPE.
Yeah, if you want to wear a mask, great, do it. But it's a personal decision. You're elderly, you're not well, you think you have a cold or a cough, go ahead, put on a mask. But if you're completely well, don't be forced into it. It's that freedom to choose. Do you want to have a vaccine? Go line up for it. It's your right. But if you don't want to have a vaccine, you don't have to have one.
Yeah, Dead GBK saying it's mandatory now in town.
Hi, Dead GBK. I'm sorry to hear that.
If you don't mind me saying, or
somewhere in Texas.
What state? State? Are
Texas.
You in Texas? Okay.
I shouldn't talk for you, Dead GBK. You might have moved. I knew from years ago he was over because I used to work in Texas. We never met up, but I think he's in Texas. Did he say that?
He hasn't responded. Of course, we got the little bit of a delay. So the conference, your presentation was awesome.
So was yours?
It was awesome to be on the panel with you and everything. So
that was so much fun.
Yeah. And, I think how much just within not even a year, it's just, 7-8 months. We've done 2 conferences now. You got to speak at the second one. That must have flown by
for you. Now, while you talk to people about what IMEC is and where the conference is available, right, I'm going to go replug in my Wi-Fi cord because I'm getting all kinds of glitches tonight. And I hope it's not my heart energy because sometimes if I get excited, I knock things out. And I can't wait to talk to you about some of my glitches, but your glitch was just amazing. It was like going through timeline loops over and over and over again. But I'm going to go check my Wi-Fi. And if you could just like fill everybody in on it.
No problemo. So yeah, you guys, for anybody that missed it, you can go to the International Mandela Effect Conference YouTube channel. It's actually linked down below, and check out our presentations. We were both on Tuesday, was it, Eileen? Monday. So yeah, you can go check out those presentations. But we had this really wild glitch. I don't know how many of you guys caught that. I did a separate video of it. It was only like a couple of minutes long or something. But it was just so funny to hear the, so what had happened is the audio just kept looping on top of each other. And it happened right after this glitch we were all experiencing right before that. So we were already talking about a glitch. And then it did this looping glitch thing that was actually pretty awesome, because everything I heard coming through was like, we want to thank those behind the scenes and stuff like that. So I don't know how many of you guys caught it. I don't have it queued up, but you can check it out. Yep. It hasn't been a problem though, so you've been coming through really good. Oh, wait, I didn't unplug, or I didn't, you're still muted. All right, I got her, guys.
There we go.
We'll be talking about it for a few minutes.
So before we talk about like the presentations, which were awesome, just off the charts, like unbelievable, and meeting all those people on the panels and meeting all the people in the chat rooms, it was just such a wonderful, intense experience. Like 6 days, 6 hours a day, it felt really, really good.
Yeah, it was really good. And I still need to go back. I've just been trying to, relax since it's been over, but I missed little segments like yours. I missed the last few minutes because we were about to do the Q&A and we had to go to the Zoom room. So that kept happening. And I'd be like, I'd get a text from Heather and she's like, ready in 5 minutes. I'm like, but I'm watching the presentation.
I'm watching the presentations. Me too. I have a few to pick up on. And Cynthia said that they're going to be broken up and put up independently as well. So if somebody goes, oh, I want to see Shane's again. Oh my God, where is it? Because you've got these 6 days of blocks. You can just go to yours. But if you want to see the whole conference, you can still watch it in the whole blocks.
Where it has the chat and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, where it has everything. So the glitches, first of all, yours was the best glitch that I saw in 6 days. Do you want to tell people about yours?
That's what I was just telling them when you were away. It just kept looping over and over again. And weren't you amazed at the little things that kept overlapping?
Yes. And it was like hearing the song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat in, what is it called when you start after each other?
Right.
What's that called?
Like synchronized. Or, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like you start singing, and then at a certain point, and the person next to you starts singing. Then at a certain point, the next person starts singing. So it's all coming together. It was just amazing. I don't even know how it happened.
No, me neither. But it was like, a little bit of a hiccup here, and everything was like talking about what was actually happening, and it was done in such a synchronistic way. And
totally.
And then the way, Cynthia was like, great opportunity to talk about glitches, and then she laughs, and
it was so funny. And then I had the most annoying glitches, which kind of made it look like I'd never done a live broadcast in my life. Okay, that was the embarrassing part. But what actually happened wasn't even possible to happen. So I would be watching the conference on my phone because Heather, who is an amazing tech, who ran the whole thing, I'm sure she had help. She had a lot of help. Said, watch the conference on your phone and write down questions while your presentation is going. Right. And then come over to me early in Zoom, turn your phone off, right? Mm-hmm. And then you'll be ready to answer questions. And I did that. And I didn't turn my phone off with power. What I did was I hit stop on YouTube, which was the IMEC International Mandela Effect Conference. channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the screen went black. You know how it does when it's sleeping?
Right.
And I put it down, right? And as soon as I'm sitting there, silence, silence, silence. As soon as she makes my mic live, and it's time for my Q&A, I get the most enormous sound of the conference live, just blasting in my ears. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I can hear the conference on delay. And I said, Heather, can you get the conference out of my ears? And she's like, it's not coming from me. I'm getting texts from her. It's not coming from me. And I said, well, if it's not on my PC, how can it be coming from me? And she said, do you have another device? And I said, yes, but it's my phone, and my phone is in it was black. It was in standby.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, open it up. And I open up my phone, and the conference is playing louder than ever before. I mean, just blasting through my phone. And I'm like, who turned it on?
Right.
How did that just go on
from
my phone while it was in standby? You have to like right now it's not on. I mean, my power's on, but I have to hit YouTube and hit play to get it to play.
Right.
And it was sitting there sleeping. And as soon as I went live, boom, it came on. And I'm like, this is so annoying. I swear to God, I know how to do a live stream.
Well, I knew you did. So I wasn't down. I'm like, something weird's going on there, so I knew, because we do it every week. No problem, for years now.
But you see, I have this on as an emergency, because if we lose the stream, I can pop in and do the live stream with Shane on my phone. Yeah. But as long as I don't hit YouTube, it doesn't play.
Right.
But during the conference, it does. It's just sitting there sleeping and deciding what it's going to do on its own. And then that happened during the ladies' panel. I'm in there 15 minutes early, chit chat, silence. And I had the stream on my PC, and I had it on pause behind Zoom. And as soon as I went to say something, the PC took the conference off of pause and started playing it through my microphone.
Oh, my God.
And everybody started laughing. And I said, you guys, you're never going to invite me anywhere with a microphone. You're going to say, Eileen does not know how to silence things. So how the heck did it come off pause behind Zoom on the same screen? Who pushed the button?
Right.
But I've got the best glitch of all. Are you ready? This is like the best. This is the one that Cynthia liked the best too. She's like, if you can ever talk about the glitches, do, because that's super cool. It's all energy, right? And if I get really excited, everything starts like going weird. During one of it, I don't know if it was the panel or during our panel maybe, or during Q&A, it was such a busy week and we were doing so much. I was Eileen Colts every day in Zoom. And then one day I popped on as Eileen Teg, my deceased husband's last name, which was actually Colts Teg, but he was born Teg.
And is that when Jerry called you that?
He goes, and Eileen Teg, and I went, hello? Where is that name coming from? I haven't heard that in a while. And I text Heather and I go, where did you get that name? And why did you change it? And she texts back and she goes, who is Teg? I didn't change it. And I said, well, I didn't change it. And she said, go into settings, open up Zoom. This is when we're halfway through the conference. We've done 3 days as Eileen Colts. She said, hit settings and then hit name and see what name is in there. And I went, sorry, guys, I'll be right back. And I came out of the stream. I went into Zoom. I hit settings, and it was Eileen Teg. And I'm like, if I didn't do that, because I didn't even know that there were settings for Zoom, I just like, if somebody sends me a Zoom room, I jump in it. Right.
So it's been set since you first started it, and it asks you your name. It just kind of puts it in there in the very beginning. It's set it and leave it. It was set initially. You didn't go in there and change it from Colts to Teg in the middle of the conference, but that
something
was your name, right?
Supernatural.
Is it your husband's way of saying hello,
I
maybe?
think it was my husband giving me a hello and a wink and a hug.
I think so. It's like him saying,
he's right here where we meditate every week. And, I was like, how did that happen, Heather? And she's like, I don't know, exclamation mark. It's you. Because she knows I have a lot of glitches. Like, oh, okay, how about the worst glitch of all, which isn't really a glitch? Every time I went into Zoom, my face turned pink. Pink.
Right.
Fluorescent pink. And I'm getting everybody involved going, how do I tone down my face? Because my face is not pink. People in the chat were going, is Eileen sunburned?
Yeah, I was letting people know. I'm like, no, we tried to work on it, guys. She doesn't really look like that for some reason.
And didn't somebody, this is the color of my face. Are you guys ready? There it is. And Shane goes, hold a pink pen and then maybe your face will calm down. And then somebody went, it's making it worse. And thankfully somebody said, Zoom turns my face pink too. Didn't they in the chat?
Yep. And they said, move it closer. And then when you were able to move it a little bit closer, it did help.
It did help. So if you watch my interview with Christopher Anatra, the quantum businessman on IMEC, my face is so pink. It's not even a natural human color. It's like, I don't know. Somebody said it was my heart energy, which is kind of cool because I don't mind pink heart energy, right?
Poor Eileen, she reaches out to me and I'm like, I don't know, were you nervous or something? Or you're like, no, I don't really look that color.
I'm not that color. And then I started like sending you other pictures of me on Zoom.
You told me like the night before that, or I think Heather said that she's coming, she was at the pool, right? So I'm like, she said you were at the pool, maybe you just got a little more sun than you thought. I really thought that because Heather said you'd been at the pool. So it just made sense.
I texted, I'm watching the conference from the pool. And she's like, jealous. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm getting good reception because I had the day off. It was like, oh, I don't have to talk today. I'm going to go swimming. So everybody thought that I was fluorescent pink from the pool, which is very probable because I've got Irish skin.
Right.
And
all sometimes
freckles.
You don't notice how much you've taken on. It doesn't really burn yet until later, and then you're like,
wasn't it this color instead of like burned? Wasn't it like a marker, like a highlighter?
It was pretty red. Yeah.
Anyway, so those are my glitches, and the biggest was my name changing on Zoom halfway through the conference without me going in or without Heather going in. Something went into my PC and changed my name from Eileen Colts to Eileen Tag.
That is so wild.
That is so wild.
I really feel like it was your husband saying, like, I'm proud of you, the conference and the book and you know what I mean? The whole presentation and all that. It was his way of just showing his approval or, that he sees. It's got to be something like that.
It's got to be something like that. Because why that name? Okay, that is my name. And there's probably that name in my PC somewhere, on documents and old files and things like that.
How long have you had Zoom?
Well, I had Zoom for a couple of years because I did the Lynn McTaggart course with it and a couple of things. And then when we were having the conference meetings, I wasn't getting into your meetings. So I removed Zoom and I re-uploaded it in May. So whenever we were having those pre-conference meetings to talk about presentations and ins and outs and.
Wow, 38 people. I think people are out shooting off their fireworks, but that's cool because we've still got plenty.
Light here.
Yeah.
Hello, 38 peeps.
Yeah, it is good that you're East Coast because thank you so much, Karen went to that you're East Coast because it gets dark first there, or at least for the people in the States,
Oh, right. Now, I want you to do something. Okay. Lean forward to read the chat, but keep your eyes on your screen. Look behind you at your salt lamp. Now lean forward. Lean forward. Look at the colors change. Or do you have a bulb in there to change the colors?
Oh, yeah. It just automatically changes.
Oh, I thought it was changing colors every time you lean forward.
Yep, it's just slowly changing.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one where it's bright orange. Oh, it disappeared.
Yeah, it changes fast. It changes faster than the actual diffuser.
I found this rock. I didn't find it. I wish I did. And it's from New Zealand, and it's bright orange. Can you see the color or not? There we go.
Oh, yep, there it is.
And it's crystal. Wow. It's a crystal that's bright orange. So I'm kind of getting attracted to orange at the moment. Like, I feel like it's been missing from life. Like I've been neglecting to wear orange in clothing or rocks. So I'm trying to make up and get a little more orange going in my life.
That's so funny because I thought the same thing about red and orange myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's very grounding for us, right? The lower chakras, to actually
Mm-hmm.
honor the lower chakras, because we're always in our heart to head chakras,
Right.
meditating, praying,
Yeah.
loving, giving. You know, we're always from here up. It's kind of nice to get our root chakras
Absolutely.
honored.
Oh, Karen's saying the same thing with orange.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't know
Karen.
why that came up. Yeah, it was definitely orange, but I thought, I thought the same thing. It's like, wow, it's like we've
It's
neglected the lower chakras.
orange is a hard color to find in rocks. I got a little carnelian. I don't know what this one's called. It's a orange crystal from New Zealand,
Hmm.
and it's bright orange, and it grows in a straight line. So it grows in a straight line like this.
Wow.
So orange
Did
is hard to find.
Did you have a chance to check out the love stream from last night yet?
I got halfway through and I fell asleep last night. I'm halfway through Propagate the Light. What did I miss?
Okay, I just wanted to know if you saw the bracelet that Atsuko made me
Oh my
today.
God. Oh, you're wearing it.
Isn't that cool?
That is
It's a
so
star seat cuff bracelet,
beautiful.
handmade, and wow, she did such an
Is that
amazing
brass
job
and
at it.
bronze and silver
Yeah, I think it's brass and what was the other one? Silver and
and a
I think the
crystal in the
stone
middle?
is. I think it's a cubic zirconia for that part. So yeah, brass, copper, because this part's brass, and then copper for the.
And maybe silver in the middle? Yeah, I see
Yeah, and then
brass, I see copper, and maybe silver in the middle. It's beautiful.
oh, and check out this box. It was so nice and professional. It came in this box.
Wow, that is a really nice jewelry box.
Yep. So it came in there just like you'd find in the store. It was
Yeah,
super professional. So, and then it had these little. Let's see. This one says Reiki infused healing jewelry.
that is so
And I know
amazing.
Atsuko. I know she really did it. She's not the kind of person
Oh,
that sell it
yeah.
and then just act like she put the Reiki in there.
Mm-mm. She's
Trust
going to
me,
put the
you
power in
can
there.
feel her. Yeah, you can feel her. Reiki is vital life force energy that exists everywhere in the universe. This jewelry was created to give you ample flow of Reiki energy into your body. And then this one says Starseed Cuff Bracelet. So that's the name of it. It's sterling silver, copper, brass, and cubic zirconia for the little stone. Now
That's
she said
wonderful.
she can put any color in the middle because she has to make them custom for, everybody. But it says handmade with love, balance and alignment. Divine feminine and masculine energies are merged and balanced, and it leads you to alignment. So,
I can feel that just looking at it because of the Merkaba shape in the middle.
yeah,
The two triangles inverted is
yeah,
like complete balance, complete, male, female, dark, light, soft, hard,
yeah.
all the things that we're here to bring into
And like I
balance.
said, it would make a great gift because of the box and the wrapping and everything too.
Oh yeah. So is she
Super.
selling it on Etsy?
Yeah, yeah. She's I went and was looking at her art. She's got so many.
Do you remember how to find her? Do you know what she's called?
Yes, her website's actually. Um, Let me show you guys her card too while it's here.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Look at that with
Yeah,
all the peach colors. Oh yeah.
yeah. But let's see. Her web address is like hug HUGOLOMO. So Hugalomo. eh,
Hugalomo.
Yeah, HUGOLOMO.com.
Wonderful.
And once you go to that website, you can actually hit up on, I think it says jewelry or something, and that takes you to the Etsy page. So
That's
you
so
can, yeah, but it's handmade and super, super nice. I mean, you
super
can
duper
tell how
nice.
perfect it is.
We could do this if you're game
Mm-hmm.
on the UOTF website without being spammed by like insurance carriers and things like that. You could have a link that if you make jewelry by hand or you provide a Reiki service
Mm-hmm.
online, just put your details here because that is a community page. That's where we're all going to, especially
Definitely.
when we have to like arrange rides and meetups and all that stuff. I know you don't want to like go insurance services, banking services, something that's not really related
Right.
to our
But I have the
spirituality.
forum. That's actually what the forum was for people to get on there and, get word out about what they're doing or their services they provide.
Like
Yeah,
Debbie.
some people want to do free BQHs, so I tell people get on there. Somebody might want to give a free one away. You don't have the money for one. It just
Because they're
works out for
training you,
everybody.
they need to
Yeah,
practice it.
that's why I created that whole thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
So go there, put your stuff on the virtual, what's it called? Like
Yeah.
in a town, you'd walk to the middle of the town and there would be a notice board,
Right.
the virtual notice board.
And it's really neat, you guys. You can actually, if you have a video, like an explainer video or something from your own, channel or whatever, you can actually put that on there so people will find out about your channel and your service or
That's
whatever.
a great resource.
And it's not like known, so you get on there. It's free, of course, and there's just not a lot of traffic on there. So
well, no, because
that's
it's
a good thing.
A closed community. We have to log in. It's not
Right.
open to the public to just pop in and pop out, right?
Right, but it makes it a little safer if somebody wants to share a phone number or something like that. It's
Yeah.
not in the live chat, So
Oh, that's beautiful, Otsko. And then who was on after Propagate the Light? I've got to finish the last half of his.
Let me see. Laura Lee, or was she first?
I heard Otsko first, half of Propagate
Lee,
the Light, and then I fell asleep.
Yep, Laura Lee. Yeah.
I can't wait. I will listen to it tomorrow with coffee in the morning, Sunday morning, sit down and finish my love stream.
Yeah, I want to say she was the last one. Yeah, it was just the three of them. And hopefully Propagate the Light emails me and we'll do something together on his channel. We've been talking actually for a few years and we just never line up. Same way with like Lone Eagle, it's like we've talked a few times and like we never we're just both so busy doing our own thing that we forget to get back to each other. It's like we're cool with each other, but it's like, I keep forgetting about you. So sorry,
Well, Dan, you met Dan from Scarab Performance last year, didn't you, at the conference? I guess maybe he had a copyright strike on his huge channel, and he's got this little channel called the Book of Dan or Book of Daniel. And I was just listening to that too. I think it's on Saturday nights around the same time or after the love stream. And it was just this gentle, easygoing, relaxed chit chat about just life, Mandela effects, the Bible, just like sitting in somebody's living room, kind of like the love stream, where you feel like we've come into your living room and we're all just hanging out there,
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's super cool to go from big to little. And then
Scarab Performance is still up and running, right?
I think it is, but that's it. He's live streaming on the Book of Daniel.
Oh, he lost live streaming
for temporarily.
Right. Okay.
Temporarily. I don't know. I've never talked to him about it. Maybe it was a copyright thing like Suso. Suso temporarily didn't live stream. He just put up videos for a while.
Right.
But I think that's over. I think he can live stream again. I mean, cool. That happens to all of us. But I was just saying how it went from kind of the big world where there's the chats flying by with hundreds of people to this little like comfy, quaint living room group, where you're just relaxed and everybody knows everybody. It just had such a warm feeling to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea about that.
At the conference, we all did a lot of Mandela Effect stuff because we're Mandela Effect channels. Eva, Moneybags, you, me, Jerry, Chris, Cynthia Sue. Did I miss anybody? I think that's all the Mandela Effect channels, like 5 or 6, maybe 7. There were 15 speakers. And one of them, when I was listening to Jan Engel Smith, she's been training people in shamanism for years. She's got a whole school that teaches shamanism.
Lights on.
Yeah. With an AA, BA, and I think up to a PhD level.
Isn't that cool?
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could get that kind of a degree, which is usually, academic, in shamanism.
Yeah. And I don't know if she's the first to do that or one of the first, but yeah, that's awesome that she's doing that.
Yeah,
that way, because it's usually like the Wild West, you know what I mean? Especially if you go to South America or Central America or whatever on one of these journeys. Here you're going to this weird country with weird people you don't know, and you don't know if this guy just started doing it last week, for all you know, right? And so, yeah. But, of course, she doesn't do the ayahuasca thing. I want to make that clear. She's strictly no plant medicine. Hey, Shelly. Shelly,
Hey, Kelly.
I don't know if you heard Shelly last week that she had the lion shall lie down with the lamb in her Bible, and the next day when she went to take a picture of it, it switched. So of course she was troubled by that. I said, no, it was just for
It's
you.
happened
Of
to
course,
me. It's
yeah,
happened to you, right?
yeah. Sometimes you need to see it was just for you, though, and I think she needed to see it was just for her. It was specifically just for her, you know what I mean? And it was such a beautiful thing to hear her story about this old dusty Bible that everyone else had forgotten about, and
Family
she
Bible.
finds it. Yeah. So beautiful story.
That
Thank
is
you
so
so
cool.
much.
I've seen things shift right in front of my eyes, and I'm like, whoa, that just happened, you
Yeah.
know? But I've told the story so many times, everyone's getting bored with it. It's just literally looking up a tour of Grand Central Station. I'm like, yes, I found residue. Click on it, and it goes Grand Central Station, blip, terminal. And I'm like, what? You just disappeared, and I didn't even blink. Like, it just happened right in front of my eyes. I'm like, whoa. Shane, what did I see? Was that a Mandela effect? Or was that AI cleaning up the internet and going, oops, we missed that one?
That's a great question.
What do you think?
I would tend to think it's AI because you saw it happen.
I think so too. I think because I also knew that Mandela effect had already occurred because I knew that there was a change. I remembered it as Grand Central Station, and now it's been Grand Central Terminal for a while. Decided to look for some residue, and then boom, it changes in front of my face. That's not a Mandela effect happening for the first time ever for me in my reality bubble, because that's another thing. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, did you guys see that? Stovetop stuffing is no longer, who was it? It's now Kraft. Who was it before? Who did it for us before?
Stofers, yeah.
Stouffer's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know that one. And they're like, really? Because it just happened. It just happened for me. And I was like, I kind of saw videos on that, like a year ago. And they're like, oh, darn, it's been around a while. And I'm like, not in your reality, obviously.
Right.
So do you think people are just coming in contact with the information that that's a Mandela effect? Or do you think they're actually having Mandela effects earlier, later? It's like all over the place.
You know what? For the longest time, that's a great question, Eileen, because for the longest time I thought that it was just, well, they just found out about it. They've just overlooked it until now, and then they just happen to pay attention now, and they've just happened to notice right now. But I've had some pretty weird things happen that just kind of, it's so confusing, it leaves me scratching my head. So, like, for me, when I had discovered the Houston, we have a problem, changing
Hmm.
to Houston, we've had a problem. When I talked to someone else later about that, when I experienced the first, before the flip flop, they said the flip flop and everything had already occurred by that time. And I'm like, no, it didn't for me. So, and when they said it had occurred was like way before I even thought the Mandela effect was happening. So I knew it was like 2016, they said. So I knew for me it was in 2017. It wasn't even like a few month difference that, well, maybe, give a little margin of error there with both of us, our memories, and there might be some overlap. It wasn't like that. It was like, no, that was the beginning of 2016. And I'm like, no, it was definitely middle of 2017 or something before I realized that change. The whole Houston, we have a problem, changing to Houston, we've had a problem. And then it was a little bit later in that year when I saw it switch back, and I went and some of the message boards were still there. People were arguing for Houston, it being always
Still.
being, yeah, for
But
the
for somebody else,
change.
it flopped back already. It flip-flopped back again for them.
But it didn't. Sometimes the message boards don't seem to update. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you'll go and you won't find those message boards you remember reading. And I don't
Oh,
know
that
if the
happens to me
AI
all the
hasn't
time.
gotten to it yet.
Yeah, like I'll find a study that's interesting and I think might be related to the Mandela effect, and I
Right.
won't save it or bookmark it. And
Yep.
then a month goes by and I think, oh, I want to see that study or that article again. And then I look for it and I can't find it anywhere. It's just gone. Just
Yep.
gone. Like in 2016, I read a study from the University of Wisconsin that showed all the planets are heating up at the same time and becoming more luminous. Like, if you
Mm-hmm.
look at Jupiter now,
You can't find that
Jupiter,
anymore.
you can, but Jupiter's like as big. Oh, I mean, Jupiter's like as bright as Venus now, which is insane. It never was that bright. And I've looked and looked and looked for that article, any article, because it was an actual university study.
Yep.
Based on infrared heat and light. You can track the light from the ground on the earth, and you can see how it increases over years.
Absolutely.
Completely gone. Just gone.
That's funny, because I remember when I saw that study ruling out it being a Mandela effect. I'm like, okay, so you can see the study showed a natural progression of like Venus getting brighter, all of those planets getting brighter.
Yes.
Right.
And hotter.
So yeah, because they were it had thermal images of it or something.
Yes.
How much they were radiating
I saw the same study. It was a big deal. I think that was scrubbed from the internet by AI on purpose, because it means that global warming on Earth is not due to humans. It's due to all the planets are getting hot. All the planets are lighting up.
Which probably has to do with the area that the whole solar system is going through right now.
Yeah. I mean, some people say dirty space, or some people say photon belts. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. It just means we're traveling or not traveling. Some people think we're stationary and things go around us, but it just means that things are heating up around us. If you see the world that way, then whatever's going around us, if we're on a flat plane, is heating up for some reason, which is interesting.
Well, I think like with our solar system, when they show that our solar system is moving together as a whole as well, so we don't realize it, but they were showing how the planets are actually lagging behind the sun a little bit, because the plane that is our solar system is traveling in that direction, as a plate would be traveling with the surface towards you, right? So as the sun is in the center, all the other planets are spiraling behind it slightly because of the movement through space.
That's interesting.
So it's almost like the sun is pulling us rather than holding us in a...
Pulling, sucking, pulling. Pulling makes sense because of the problems with the inclination. So they have this infrared ability with not microscopes, what are they called? Telescopes, to measure infrared heat. And then they can measure that over time, like you said, and they can see changes in it, right? Mm-hmm. So they're trying to map the Milky Way, University of Massachusetts, University of Virginia. And they're creating detailed maps based on infrared, based on heat, and the changes that are occurring, there aren't a lot of reasons for that. Is it because things are moving? Is it because things are stationary? Is it because, how could they give us the reasons why? We're not technologically advanced enough to understand what's out there and how does it operate. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally agree. I'm kind of wondering if those instruments, how they launched something to the sun now that's going to be able to get some, I don't know, information we've never been able to get before. Did you hear about that? No. I'll have to get the name of the device, but it's supposed to orbit closer, halfway between Mercury and the sun or something like that, super close. I can't remember the specifics.
Not getting burned up.
Right, but so much of what we know as science is guessed. I mean, it's hypothesized, we
all
really
the science
don't know
facts are science theories.
Right.
And then you got the problem of who's putting the information out.
Because and what agenda do they have?
And what agenda do they have? Exactly. Right. Because it might not be true, but it might be true. Right. So how do you like being in a classroom called Earth, where everything you hear might be true or might not be true? And you're sitting there going, can't we just have a rule that we agree we only tell the truth? Because that's going to make life a heck of a lot easier for people. Right?
Yeah.
No, we don't have that. We certainly don't have it at this level. There might be a level way, way, way up at the top of I'm running the banks and I'm running the governments and I'm running the churches and education. They might have a better idea of what's going on, or maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have a clue.
It's so funny when I, somebody just got busted. It's all in the news or whatever. And I was thinking, these people that are supposed to be so smart and have all the resources and all of that still haven't gotten their own libido under control, right? Enough to where they're not depraved to the point of, I don't know. It's just, I think that just speaks to the fact that if they don't have that figured out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably aren't watching us all in our living room every moment of the day like we think, Maybe they have that possibility, but...
Do you remember Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers? They used to do you're too young. They did Channel 11, the hero's journey. They talked about human archetypes and stuff like that. Well, one of them did a video like 6 years ago that said why capitalism automatically transforms into oligarchy, and it will always transform into oligarchy, which is a few families owning everything. And it's absolutely true. I'm going to send you the video. And it's basically saying that to be a good capitalist, you have to be really greedy. Okay? Because if you're not really greedy, you're not succeeding. So then you're not a good capitalist. You're just part of the, the market. They're selling us stuff. We're buying their stuff. We're the market. And the true capitalists are creating the products to bring to the market to make fortunes, billions of dollars. And in order to do that, you have to have the motivation to say $1 million isn't enough for me. $100 million isn't enough for me. I want to be a billionaire. You have to have that motivation. So suddenly you've got this money and a few succeed and become, multimillionaires and billionaires. And suddenly they got power. They didn't just make money. They can influence governments, elections, campaigns. And they're like, whoa, all I ever was greedy, but now I can decide who becomes the president of the United States because I'm going to give $100 million to so-and-so. So, that can stop because we used to have election laws. Remember, I don't know if you remember, we used to have election laws that you couldn't donate more than $10,000 to a candidate in a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
You remember? And corporations were really restricted. Well, the Supreme Court passed some law when I was working over in Europe that said corporations are entities, they're people. And now they can donate whatever they want. So a telecoms company can donate to any candidate they like, $100 million or $10 million or $1 million. I don't know what the cap is. If there is one, there might not be a cap.
Mm-hmm.
Then instead of 1 million people deciding who gets in, it's one person who's running that company.
That's why I'm all for just tearing the whole thing down and starting with something fresh.
Because all media is owned by 5 companies. Have you seen that? Have you seen the breakdown of the 5 companies that own all the media?
Oh, yeah.
So any media you see is going to benefit the 5 companies in some way.
Yeah. So
we can't have any corporations own media. We can't have any companies own media or medicine. Medicine can never be, for profit.
Right.
Totally. Or media for profit. No, right. Media for information.
Right. Because that really shows you how the corruption, that's why it's like 99% negative, because that's what gets the views, that's what gets the ad revenue, because they want people to tune in at the horrible thing that's coming or about to happen or happening or whatever.
Yeah, brainwashing or going here, buy this product and this is what it does. And maybe the product might do something good, but it might kill you in the process. They're not going to tell you that because if they do,
they don't care. Right. And they don't care either. Yeah.
So.
And that's the other thing. That's, so if something by company Acme, right, has a product, it goes haywire.
But Acme Bricks owned by Warren Buffett, which Bill Gates used to be on the board of. So don't say Acme, because Acme reminds me of Roadrunner. Remember Acme? Right. Roadrunner? Nope. Yeah. It's a real company now. That's got to be a Mandela effect. Come on. Who names their company Acme? So Company X.
So yeah, Company X. I forgot the point I was going to make.
We're just saying that.
But it's cool. It's cool. We actually need to do the meditation because it's.
We do. Oh, I didn't mean to stop your train of thought. I just want to let you know there is an Acme. That's so funny.
Right. It's cool.
So do you want to explain what the meditation is tonight?
Right. Yeah.
Did you come up with the idea?
Just independence, like I was saying in the beginning. Independence from, the system, from the trauma of our past, just tap into the whole idea of the independence of, not only in America, but worldwide, because we're moving.
Freedom. Humanity.
Yeah. 3D.
Yeah.
From third dimension.
Can I just say something really strange here? Because I'm sure all of you guys have thought of this before. But to me, it was like an epiphany.
Yeah.
And it's because I never thought of it before. But do you know how we always talk about the shift, the event, rapture, ascension? What else is it called? You know, it's like taking the good and the goodness and moving it somewhere where it can thrive safely and grow and evolve. You know, that's the whole point. So it's not oppressed and suppressed, right? It's always moving off of Earth and always moving out of 3D or 4D if you think the fourth dimension is time. But what if it's the opposite? What if everything, as you evolve, gets higher and higher and faster in frequency? And everything that isn't resonating with the highest, faster frequency of love and unity, cooperation, harmony. You know how systems love cooperation. They thrive on cooperation. Even your car thrives on it because all the parts have to work for you to drive it somewhere. And if something major breaks down, the whole thing is broken down. You know, just because one thing is broken. So what if it's the opposite? What if everything that can't vibrate and resonate with the higher frequency of that we call new Earth, 5D Earth, fourth density falls away, and we're all left here creating a more harmonic Earth system, humanity? Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought? And what supports that is in the Bible, right? Where it says, I'm trying to think, a couple
Right.
of things that support heaven
Behold,
on
all
earth.
things become new, or something. There's probably a few like that. But yeah, I imagine it
Heaven
would be
on
like
earth.
that from the perspective of the person moving into 5D. Yeah, I would imagine the old would crumble away, and that's what we're seeing happening in a
So
very
we might not
real.
need to go anywhere. We might need to just stay put and keep our energies high
And declare our independence from the old
and
systems.
our
Let them
freedom from the
follow.
old system,
All
you know?
right, and
So
that's
it
what.
may be reversed. We get to stay, and everything that's old and negative and controlling and oppressive falls away,
Mm-hmm.
just falls away of natural decay on its
Right.
own merit, basically.
Yeah. So we'll think of that as with the independence meditation of falling away from that old system. Let
And
it
the
fall
freedom,
away.
let freedom
Cut.
reign on all of Earth for all people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not just for
Perfect.
one country or one group or, you know. Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okie dokie. Okay, guys, get really comfy and make sure you're not driving or walking, or make sure you're not blowing off any firecrackers. That's for sure while you're meditating. Just joking. Just get really relaxed and kind of sit in to whatever is supporting you. And just let yourself kind of float your consciousness. It's already moving up into your heart. And from your heart, it's connecting to your third eye, your pineal gland. Just kind of let it rest there. Feel how comfortable it is. See the violet flame and feel how cool that is, and sit in the violet flame. Take a deep breath in. Let it fill up your lungs, and exhale when you're ready. And when you're ready, take another deep, relaxing breath in. And when you're ready, let it out. If there's any tension anywhere in your body, let that just go with the out breath. Take a third relaxing deep breath in. Fill up your lower lungs. Tummy extends. And exhale completely. If you haven't done so, now would be a good time to let down a grounding cord from your root chakra at the base of your spine. Go ahead and send that down through whatever is supporting you, through the floor of the building. Send it down through the building. Let it go through the crust of the earth. Let it go down deeper and deeper through all the different layers of the earth. And when it reaches the center, see it spread out in all directions, rooting you to earth like a tree. Now we're going to start doing our heart math breath. Breathe in through your heart and exhale through your heart. If it helps, put one hand on your heart as you breathe in through your heart chakra. And when you're ready, exhale through the heart center. Continue to do this at a pace that feels really comfortable, very natural. And now would be a good time to bring in, on the in-breath through your heart, a beautiful, clear, crystalline color. Let that fill your body up. Any color that you choose is going to be the right one in the here and the now. And you can exhale that comfortably out of your heart when you're ready. And this time, when you breathe in that beautiful, healing, clear color, let it extend beyond your body. Feel yourself radiating with a beautiful, healing light. And that is now surrounding you and protecting you like an energetic ball of light or cocoon. And we're going to think about being with people that we love. It could be somebody in the present, it could be somebody in the past. Some of us who experience future memory might even imagine being with somebody in the future. And let those feelings permeate your being from your root chakra all the way up through the sacral, into the solar plexus chakra, going straight into your heart, filling you with the feeling of warmth and love and safety and security, going into your throat chakra, loosening up your throat chakra so that you speak your truth. You speak it often and you speak it bravely. Let it go further up. See it turn brilliant, white light. Now that you have cleared and cleaned and balanced and centered all of the body's chakras in the etheric, the astral, the physical, and the spiritual, we're going to virtually join hands, and together we are going to imagine and visualize and see and hear and even touch what freedom on earth really feels like. We're all going to have our own individual idea about that, but we're going to think about and feel the word freedom. What does that mean for you personally? It could even be freedom from something that's been nagging and niggling at a part of your body, and now you're free of that. It could be being free of financial debt and feeling like you need more money constantly. You might want to become free of that. Maybe it's free to choose whether you wear a face covering or not, free to choose whether your children wear face coverings or not. Freedom of medicine and being able to choose what you put in your body and when you put it in your body. That kind of freedom. Perhaps you're going to be thinking of freedom of information so that what you listen to is not controlled, owned, purchased, in order to give you a message that may or may not be true, but might financially benefit someone somewhere. Let's imagine being free of that, where the information is given freely and it's based in truth. Even if that truth is subjective to every single person experiencing Earth in the here and the now. Even if that truth changes in the future at some point when we know more, let's tie the idea of truth to freedom. How does that impact leadership, government, education, media? What does a free education feel like? What does it look like? What is available to you and your loved ones? Let's bring that feeling of freedom and truth into the belief systems and religions of the world. What does that feel like when people of different religions and different races and different regions of the world are fully capable of being together and living side by side in peace, in harmony, and even further than that, with freedom and truth, covering the earth? What does that kind of cooperation and compassion look like? Advances in medicine, advances in technology, not technology that serves a few, but technology that serves all of humanity for humanity's highest good and for the best possible outcome for all concerned. What does freedom and truth do to a monetary system? How does exchange of goods work? Exchange of services? If you can't trust a handful of humans to run the bank, how does everybody run the bank? How do you make a financial system that is truly in that generation to fix some of these things that are still broken? And now just see anything that's broken in the system falling away. Watch it fall away. It's no longer viable. It's no longer supported by the masses. The populations of the world of human beings are waking up. They are awake. They see the broken systems. They sense the truth through gnosis in their heart and in their gut. Those are two other brains. These are thinking parts of our bodies. Our heart has a brain and our gut has a brain. And let all of humanity have that internal gnosis so that when they hear something that's not quite true, they get that feeling. They just know it. And in the process of anything that doesn't serve all of us, falling away, no longer supported, no longer needed, no longer promoted, no longer bought and sold. Let's see now what replaces those systems in media, in entertainment, in education, in pharmaceuticals, in medicine, in leadership or government roles, in commerce, in industry, in energy, in transportation, in the healing arts, in communication. Imagine those systems being truly free for the entire Earth and all of humanity, and being steeped, birthed, and grown in truth. Just really feel the freedom and feel the truth that goes along with freedom. And we'll go silent for just 3 minutes while we do this. Now that you've been basking for a few moments in the feelings of true freedom and truth and liberty and honesty and cooperation and compassion for and in humanity on Earth, just really give yourself a big pat on the back for not only taking care of your own little reality bubble here, but helping to manage the bigger matrix and making it better because you're here and you are a matrix manager. So let's start to take a deep breath and kind of move your shoulders around. You might want to stretch your neck, your head, move your feet and your hands, get that blood circulating. You can let your grounding cord go, or you can keep it attached and come back.
That was beautiful.
But
Thank you, Eileen. And I had one of those. What did you say?
It was a long one.
It didn't seem that long.
No?
It did. Okay, so I had a whole telepathic thing happen.
What?
just now. So as you were just finishing up, I was thinking how much I appreciate you and what you do, not only for this community, but for the world. In the moment I thought that, you were like, just give yourself a pat on the back for not only what you're doing in your small bubble, but the greater, and I'm like, dude, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say that to you. Like right when it ended, because I just, it's sure we got our little community, but what we're doing is changing the world. You know what I mean? And so I had those have been happening a lot more with a lot of different people.
Connected mentally.
Yeah.
Yep, because we're not attached by anything.
Right.
That was pure telepathic information. It's like
and you flipped it around on me before I could even say it. So give yourself a pat on the back, Eileen.
Okay, everybody,
thank you so much.
give yourself a pat on the back now, because you're not only taking care of your reality bubble, but you're reaching out and helping the entire matrix heal. Yeah.
And I even heard, Martin Luther King, let freedom ring. It does ring out like a vibration, doesn't it?
I heard that too. And I'm like, I'm going to sound so corny if I say let freedom ring. So I'm like, I heard that in my head. I was like, God, it makes sense. It rings like a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let
truth
freedom.
And the freedom and
Over the whole world, if you see it as an eyeball or a dome or whatever, or around the earth, if you see it that way, just let freedom just go everywhere. Everywhere.
And that we have the Schumann, right? Let the Schumann vibrate with freedom, you guys.
Schumann ring. What is the Schumann doing tonight? Because the Schumann could actually be helping us a lot when we connect our hearts and our minds like that and focus on the same thing at the same time.
Let me see if it's going crazy right now, because I know. Oh, it did about 12 hours ago. It went crazy.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah. But, it's pretty calm right now. All right, you guys. So, go have fun. Happy 4th of July. Thank you again so much, Eileen. We'll see you guys again next week.
Everybody who's
doing next week.
Oh.
We got special guests.
We have special guests next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gregory and Gail Hogue. They've been here a couple of times. They are experts in sacred geometry.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Excited. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. So
cool.
You guys stay tuned for that. We'll see you next week. Lots of love to you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye. Peace, everybody.
Oops, need my screen here. All right, peace. Be sure to check out the website at uotf.net. There you will find the live stream schedule displayed in your local time right there on the front page. Below that, you'll find links to take the Beyond Quantum Healing course at a discounted rate, purchase our book, Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, in paperback or ebook, or to contact me to schedule a BQH session. At the top of the site, you'll find links to help support the work I do, access the free private forum where you can discuss organizing get-togethers in your area, Mandela effects, and more. Thank you all so much for being here.